Good afternoon. My name is Tina Gote Santiago, and I'm presenting my final presentation for organizational development. I am an MA student, and this is my critical task presentation. To begin, organizational development focuses on the human side of an organization where leaders can collaborate with key individuals, groups, and organizations to present systematic change in support of improvement. And this can occur through increased engagement and with employees or increased engagement with other stakeholders. Howley and Howley shares that the value of organizational theory and communication is to foster dialogue that builds support and encourages informed decision making and planning. So school dynamics change. One size does not necessarily fit all. Therefore, embracing multiple perspectives of your key stakeholders provides opportunities to include the needs of your specific organization or school in strategic planning and setting goals for your school in support of its mission, which is to educate your students and promote success. So Florida Principal Leadership Standard 9 focuses on communication. It identifies the importance of building and maintaining positive relationships with its key stakeholders as partners. Being part of the process encourages support, and this investment can help to support more positive outcomes. So we talk about two-way communication. This means listening to all stakeholders and actually allowing them to express their concerns and their needs in an open forum where you're actively listening and engaging with them, and then you work together to come to potential solutions. So through positive engagement and communication, it can help to align the goals for students, faculty, individuals, groups, and the communities, also parents, and making sure that you can address their concerns in a positive way, or inform them of what you can or cannot do at the moment based on whatever facts are in place. So effective leaders understand that their success may be dependent on the perception, the process, the people, and projection, which is a 4P framework that involves intentional work. Therefore, the practice of two-way communication strategies can support educational leaders in their efforts to accomplish their schools and the system's goals. And this can be for any structure or any institution. So for DODEA, which is my case study, they connect. Organizational structure is set forth in a blueprint for continuous improvement, and it incorporates all of the plans and the strategies that are in place in order to support student success. So they keep students as a primary focus, and through the continuous stakeholder feedback, they are able to effectively create strategies that support improved performance and academic achievement. So the DODEA schools use accurate and timely analysis of data. And this information and the strategies are updated annually. It is a living document. It's flexible enough to update, and it's intended to increase its effectiveness with accurate inputs from key stakeholders. So therefore, its timely analysis is built into the blueprint process. And it keeps up the information. It keeps the information front and forward. So the moment actually that I've actually seen this, the moment that the strategic plans for next year came out, and actually they've already been completed and finalized, we had it in our hand 2 weeks ago. A week after it was finalized, within that week, we had a meeting every Wednesday. The key stakeholders involving teachers, administrators, we reviewed all of the information. We know what our goals are for next year. We know where we stand this year and how we're progressing. And through this continuous reflection practice, it keeps us all aligned. And it helps us ensure that we remain focused on the student's success. So, and we continuously raise the bar. So just because we achieve one goal doesn't mean the next one's not already in the making. So this actually here is one of our teachers. She was actually recommended by students for Teacher of the Year for this year. And these are our this is a regional support regional administrators and district administrators. So schools can learn through challenges and successes in order to continue to make progress. So part of our focus at the school is definitely having documented feedback. We measure and we share the outcomes. It helps to keep the community, and we actually do this. So all of our improvement plans are available online. There's nothing hidden. It's not a secret. We have them posted throughout the school. Every single classroom has where our goals are. It's posted at the entrance of the school. So it's really information to ensure that everyone is aware what we are measuring. And we can provide the best opportunities to support their success. So in addition, the feedback, we have data teams. We also have the climate surveys that go out 2 times a year, not just once, but twice. Some schools don't even do it every year. So when I found out that this school, again, I'm a new teacher at this school, I found out that it's done twice a year. It was actually it shows how the continuous process that they constantly seeking the feedback. And it's not surveys just for parents, it's not surveys just for teachers, it's the entire organization that gets surveyed at the same time. So students can respond, teachers can respond, we all have the same information and the same opportunities. So DODEA's continuous improvement blueprint strategy has contributed to positive results so far, and it being rated in the United States as one of on the national report card best. So and scoring 10 to 18% higher than corresponding national averages on the National Assessment of Education. So in addition, how else do we communicate? We communicate through DODEA Connects. So all the parents have a portal. If you take a look here, this is the computer. So all of the information is available for anyone connected to the DODEA Institute, and we can access all of this information there. So in addition, we also have obviously direct communication within our schools. This is actually a picture taken from our Facebook page. This little one right here is my third grade, one of my third grade graders who was second in the spelling bee, so very proud of her. This communication network is actually created for students and for parents as well, and actually these videos are created inside of the school in one of our data curriculum programs, and they make these videos and they post them on YouTube in order for students to remain engaged and informed of activities or events that are coming up. And then I know my picture might be blocking it, but we have the tutoring, so we have flyers that we'll post up in the school. We'll send it out. Like this one is the tutoring for one of our math teachers. So, and then continuing on, I think that as an administrator, it's important that we understand and we know effective communication strategies. So I did a little bit of research on that. So the 4 P's of communication, it's very important for everyone to be aware that the perception, your internal and external factors that go into this process. So the ability to self-reflect up here is internal elements. There's perception, the process, understanding people, and your projections. So basically really understanding who you are as an individual, and then understanding the people around you and how you affect those processes or the individuals, the stakeholders that are involved. So when it comes to perception, it's really understanding, are you delivering clear messages? Are your goals clear? It might be clear for you because you created them, but are they clear for everyone around you? The processes, thinking about not just does the process work on paper, is it working and is it effective, and how it can affect others. The example that was in one of our assignments actually stated that, you know, if you're changing dismissal times, what are you doing? Like, how do you communicate? So what processes are you going to communicate? Are you communicating all processes to everyone or just one process to, you know, the community, one process to parents and things like that. So making sure that information is clear for whoever is receiving it. So understanding the people involved, feelings, everybody has feelings, including ourselves. So not just paying attention to our own feelings, but how we affect those around us. And then projection. So projection is making sure that you define the story, like this is the reflection process, and making sure that we're listening and learning as well. And, you know, making sure that everything is clear, you know, and available out there. So for my professional development, when I feel like, because I'm a new teacher, I feel like I'm in the learning process, but I want to get to a point where I can lead. So making sure that I want first, you see this here, we practice this strategy here. So for professional learning, so I understand the standards, I understand strategies, I'm applying them. So my professional learning is collaborating, and then applying new strategies. And then do we have the results that we want, and constant reflection. So through real world application is where we learn best. So we practice, we encourage, we listen to each other, we learn from each other, and then we reflect and evaluate. So it's an ongoing process. Okay, and then here is when it comes to communication within our school, the real world application, and really taking a look and seeing how we affect those around us. One of our goals for 2023 is to improve career and college readiness. So how are we doing it right now? What are we doing more now in order to ensure that these goals are for next year already set up? So we've had college fairs, which we have, you know, and we want to encourage all students to participate and visit. We actually I had our science department, he created a committee that actually was able to go out and work in a nonprofit organization, actually do the testing of water to see acidity levels, and it corresponded with his curriculum, but actually to go out there. So you actually creating experience for students in order to keep them engaged and keep them learning. But not only that, but also learn that there are other fields out there that maybe we haven't thought of an interest. So sparking that interest in being career ready. So and then we have here, this is actually one of our high schoolers, and this I mentioned earlier about the YouTube videos that are created for the students for the information weekly, and they actually are creating them in our media center. So this is how we've already begun, and we can continue to do. So I actually, just out of curiosity, I surveyed 10 of our students, high schoolers, to see what their career interests, how career readiness and so on. And, you know, I can see why it's a priority. We had 3 students that still were undecided as to what they would like to do. So that's 30% of students that really don't have a direction or a clear focus and we're so close to graduation. So being part of the solution, but first you have to understand what the goals are, understand what the challenges are, and then how can we impact these changes. So thank you. That actually concludes my video. It was supposed to be 5 minutes. I'm sorry, it's very long. My reflective conclusion, what I've learned is ensuring that we are communicating with all stakeholders. We're listening and we're learning from one another. Proactive communication, I believe, is one of the best strategies. We can do that we're doing that already actually with the climate surveys. We do that through engagement, and then activities of community outreach. And then I've also really gained a clear value of the blueprint continuous improvement strategies that we have. And then in order to ensure that we're sustainable, it's the quality of communication. So those are the things that I've learned from this activity, and here goes my references. Thank you so much. Have a great day.